Last night, the Celtics did not shoot a single free throw in their game.
Yeah.
Which seems unbelievable. It's the record. It's never happened before, but now it has. Is this part of a larger trend? As the statistics would tell you, post All-Star break, there have been fewer free throws taken by teams across the league.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, the interesting part is I think it would be more of a story if, like, the Bucks' free throw attempts was, like, astronomically more than us. You know what I mean? But they only went to the line once. And so it's just the interesting dynamic that they were 1 for 2 and we were 0 and 0. So there was literally one trip in the free throw line the entire game.
So you don't have a problem with that then? Like if
it's even.
Law of averages.
It's even.
Right.
Like if we were 0 and 0 and they were like 12 for 18 or something like that, they took 9 trips, but like 0 trips to 1 trip, it seems like a pretty fair called game.
Right, which is why it's interesting.
Yeah,
right? Is this a thing that is now going to happen, that they're more the refs are going to allow more physical play without there being fouls?
And I can't remember too many plays. I can't remember too many. I'm sure there was
like egregious ones?
Yeah, I'm sure there was 4 or 5, but I don't remember too many where it was like that's a missed call. Like that's, you know what I mean? I'm sure there was a couple, but I don't really care how it goes as long as it's about the same. So I thought that was a pretty, well officiated game from that standpoint.
Does it affect your team though? Like if, say, this is the trend, and some guys complain about not getting the call, where you stay down there and you bitch to the official, and you'll get back on defense or something. Yeah. Are you a team with the way you guys play and your style that you would rather see games officiated this way, or would you rather try to get guys to the line?
I think whatever the game calls for. Yeah. I think it just depends on the type of game. It's how they're defending us. At the time. Mm-hmm. And to me, we've always, the last 2 years, I think the guys have taken a lot of pride in just fighting for the best shot possible. And so sometimes that is layups, sometimes it's threes, sometimes it's just shots in the paint. And I think just depending upon, how we're being defended, you got to know, like, what types of shots you want to take. But for it to be in a game where you don't shoot any and there may be some fouls, I think that's good practice for us for when we do get to the playoffs, knowing that it's going to be a much more physical game. What can we take from that, Mm-hmm.
So when you look at this year versus last year, do you think that the team has complained less to officials? I think you have. I think there has been less complaining to the officials this year. Was that something
I can't necessarily quantify that, but
no, I know it's just
I would venture to say
test.
yes. I would venture to say by the eye test, I would say yeah.
Because I feel in previous seasons maybe it got to be a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And I feel like this year it has not been that. It's been less.
And I think there's timing to everything. I think relationships with the referees are important, just like anything else. And so I think it's the timing of when you communicate either your point of view or your frustration. And so I think the thing that we've worked on is just, hey, like, don't ignore them. Just pick and choose your spots of when to communicate with them. And I think that's something that, is done around the league. I think the refs do a great job of listening.
There's a level of savvy that's required.
Yeah, you gotta just build a relationship with them. They're people too, and so I think they've done a really good job also of it's a two-way street of communication. So I kind of noticed that.
The way your team's made up too. So you no Marcus, no Grant. Those are two guys that like to argue at times with the refs. And I know you've asked Grant to just please be quiet. As you add Drew and Porzingis, and they don't seem like guys that really work the refs. They just play their game. Is that fair to say?
I think they do. I think they like I said, they just pick and choose their spots. Yeah. I think you see both of them have conversations with guys, and we're not perfect. We've gotten plenty of technicals. There's plenty of possessions to where we didn't run back on defense to where we've gotten that. So we're not by no means one year to the next. We're just like completely better at that. We're better, and we're a little bit smarter about it, but we're not perfect in it. But I think it just goes back to picking and choosing your spots and then working to build a relationship with them. But I also think the refs do a really good job of sometimes hearing players out, sometimes having two-way communication, and sometimes sticking up for themselves, which I think you have to be able to do. So that's a small piece of gamesmanship, kind of like a game within a game. How can you constantly get better at that, and control the things that you can control? Like at the end of the day, a call's never been reversed unless it's been challenged. So like if it's a situation where they're not going to change the call, and so just really directing your attention and your focus on the things that you can control, which is something that the guys take pride in and work at.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.